Here is another question. What is an identity crisis? Do teenagers commonly go through them? And if so, what can they do to manage them? What is an identity crisis? Do teenagers go through them? If so, what do they do to manage them? Most people, to my reckoning, are perpetually in some degree of identity crisis. Because fundamentally, if there is a purpose to life, it's to answer the question, who am I? And basically, there's a level of being where all the time people are going through and creating different versions of who they might be. And normally speaking, what happens is people take the advice of their internal dialogue as to who they are. It comes as a conversation. Oh, you're like this, you're like that, you're not like this, you're not like that, you're not good enough, you're special, always telling you something. But none of it's true. That's not who you are. And as long as you identify with what it is that your internal conversation has told you you are, you will suffer. And so most people, yes, are in some kind of identity crisis. And also, obviously, when you are in your teenage years, you're trying to figure out who you are, and you're looking at other people, and they seem to be one way, and you seem to be another, and it can be a source of great suffering. And in fact, identity crisis can be a source of great suffering right the way through your life. So it becomes the most important thing to find out who actually you are. And then that suffering ends. Amazingly, it ends. So who you are must be the thing that you are always. It must be the constant thing about you. And one thing's for sure is your body's not constant. That's constantly changing. So you're not your body. Your mind is constantly changing. Your moods are constantly changing. Your thoughts are constantly changing. Your states of consciousness are constantly changing. So if you're not any of those, who are you? The most difficult illusion to break free from is that you are the thinker. Because people they think, there's no one else inside me, I am thinking, therefore I must be the thinker. But here's the thing, how do you know you're thinking? You know you're thinking because you hear the thoughts. So that means there's two things. There's the event of thinking, and there's that which witnesses it. Which came first? The witness. A baby witnesses life and its needs, but it doesn't think because it hasn't got language yet. So witness came first. And the witness doesn't change. The witness is not affected by what it sees. In exactly the same way that the sky doesn't get damaged when a big storm comes through. It just holds the storm. Even when people let atomic bombs off in the sky's not cracked, the sky's not damaged. And so the deepest part of us, the place that when we arrive at it and as it, dissolves the identity crisis and brings a deep sense of satisfaction, a deep sense of joy, a deep sense of peace. That is the witness. That is the self, the true self. The psychological self causes people a lot of trouble when they identify as it. You're not the psychological self. That's who thought has made you. and you're never going to fix it. So you might as well just get on with it and move on from identifying as the psychological self. It's the part you've been playing, but you've identified as the part you've been playing, and it causes you suffering. So you have to move on, go deeper, and become the witness. The one that looks through your eyes, the one that hears through your ears, the one that witnesses your thoughts, the one that witnesses your states of consciousness as they unfold. So yeah, the identity crisis is a good thing because it prompts us to go deeper and to seek further. Because an identity crisis begins, it has its peak, and it ends. And the thing is, if you seek the self, you will find it, and your identity crisis will end. But who you are is not a set of character traits. Who you are is not your persona. That's all the part you play. You have a deeper identity than that. And it's in finding this identity that you become happy, no matter what else is going on in your life. So, what is an identity crisis? Do teenagers commonly go through them? Yes, and everybody else. If so, what can they do to manage them? Well, look deeper and know that there is something to find. There's something to find. You are. So there's no question that you're going to find that you're not. You are. So keep going. And you will come to this amazing place of the witness, the observer.